Hey, what's up guys? It's Marcus Brownlee here from MKBHD, and welcome to the full unboxing and review video of the Motorola DROID with Verizon Wireless, Motorola, and Google. So this is one of Motorola's only phones on the Android network, as well as a Verizon Wireless network, and as you can see, the packaging does look quite similar to a lot of other smartphones, but I'll tell you something, what's inside the package is not similar to what you'll find in other smartphone packages. So what does come in the box, you're probably asking? Well, let me go ahead and show you. You'll get a number of things. Number one is the charger, the wall adapter for the United States. The second thing you get is the USB 2.0 data cable for both charging and syncing your phone. And as we move along, you'll see that there is a massive battery that I'll go into later in this review video that is actually a huge part of why I love this phone so much. Aside from that, you'll get all the rest of the boring stuff. You know, you're getting starter manuals, warranties, etc. And I don't really feel the need to show you that. However, they are very important for activating your phone, as there are several things you do need to read, and you might actually have to call Verizon like I did to get it fully activated. So once you've activated the phone, I'll go ahead and show you what it'll look like and how it'll operate. Starting up the phone for the first time is not a very pleasing experience. It does take several minutes, but that's acceptable because it is the first time you're booting up the phone. Of course, it's all worth it in the end when you get that satisfying, well, yeah. So before I get into Android itself, I should give you guys a full hardware tour of the Motorola DROID. What's better place to start than the full 3.7-inch high-resolution 854 by 480 WVGA display with a massive 40,000 pixels. At the bottom there's 4 haptic buttons, which I'll get to in a minute. So on the bottom of the phone there's actually no connections, and on the right hand side you'll have your camera button and your volume rockers. At the top is your 3.5mm headphone jack and power. And on the other side of the phone is your mini USB port. And of course, this is the world's thinnest, full slide-out QWERTY keyboard. Yep, you heard it right. The keyboard that a lot of people have been complaining of was actually really easy for me to get used to. It is, as you can tell, very flat. However, when you can type on it, after a few minutes or a few hours, you'll really get used to it. And I've actually come to like this keyboard quite a bit, as it keeps the phone relatively thin for a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. When the phone is closed, it measures just 13.77mm thick, which does set the record for the thinnest slider. Most complaints about the keyboard came because of the lack of travel. This actually has an extremely flat D-pad, as you can see, as well as all the flat keys. There were 2 blank keys, a dedicated menu key, and several other different features about it, but the lack of a number row actually makes it much easier to fit in the pocket because it extends less. So I like the phone for this reason. So with all this talk about the keyboard, I might as well show you guys, in use, the keyboard itself. So I'll just go ahead and open up a quick test message here, and show you guys the actual usage of the keyboard. Okay, not bad if you ask me. Now I'm not exactly the texting or messaging freak, but I did make 1 or 2 errors on the actual physical keyboard. The virtual keyboard is another story. It's slightly different and a little bit narrow when you're using the portrait mode, but you can definitely get by using the landscape mode, which I actually didn't use in this video, but it does work very, very well. Now, one of my favorite features about the DROID isn't actually part of the software, but the hardware itself, and that's the battery. This thing literally lasts nearly forever. I went through an entire day of school with the DROID, you know, web surfing, texting, etc., and it lasted until the end of the day with 100% battery remaining. Unfortunately, I have to use the knife to take it off. Also, there's something you should know about behind the battery is the 16 gig micro SD card that comes pre-installed with the DROID. Another one of the best features of the Motorola DROID is the screen. So like I mentioned earlier, it is a 3.7-inch WVGA high-resolution screen coming in at a whopping 854 by 480, which is a total of more than 40,000 pixels, more than twice the resolution of the leading competitor, if you know who that is. So it's one of the lightest taps you really need to use the screen. As you can see by this unlock screen here, it is not pressure sensitive, so you can't use it with gloves, but you can use just the lightest tap of the finger, not a stylus, and this will move pretty much as smooth as any other phone on the market. The snappy processor within the Motorola DROID makes moving around on the phone extremely quick, and with the firmware 2.0.1, which at the moment is the most recent firmware, it is really responsive, and I would go to say the most responsive touchscreen Android phone right now. The impressive resolution on the Motorola DROID also makes it particularly impressive for switching between screens. As you can see on my far right home screen, I have 16 icons, which is the max that you can put on a home screen. There are 3 home screens on Android 2.0.1, but I've heard of upgrades to over 6 in the future. We'll see how that works out. Another one of the most exciting features on the Motorola DROID to test out was the 5 megapixel camera on the back of the phone, which can be activated with a long press of the camera key. The camera features 5 megapixel photo resolution, dual LED flash, image stabilization, and 4 times digital zoom, so it was exciting to test out. Overall, photos look great on the Motorola DROID. If you get autofocus right and good lighting, also known as outdoors, I do recommend this camera. The 5 megapixel shots turn out really nicely. I don't recommend it, however, for low light photos, as the flash does tend to be a little bit centered and leave the edges dark. But when you do get the photo right, with the digital zoom and also the image stabilization, they do look good, as you can see by us looking through these here. I shouldn't show you all these photos though, as they're upcoming videos. There are a number of other photo settings before taking a picture with the Motorola DROID, but these I don't usually mess with. These include flash mode, scene, store location, whether or not you put it on the memory card, white balance, color effect, and all sorts of other things, as well as a live preview in the middle. Oh, and here's another cool feature. Voice search on the Motorola DROID. Check this out. Library. Very, very cool. Overall, yes, you have to admit, the Motorola DROID is a huge touchscreen, powerful monster, not something for your everyday consumer, has enhanced Bluetooth 2.1, a massive marketplace, and some serious hardware features. Not only has the phone hardware itself been reliable, but it's been working perfectly on America's #1 most reliable wireless network, and nothing really beats Verizon when it comes to just picking up your phone and making a call. Well anyway, I'm not a YouTube partner, so I'll be bumping up against that 11-minute time limit any moment now. But remember, if you're looking for a Verizon wireless smartphone that you can show off to your iPhone-wielding friends with turn-by-turn GPS, tight Google integration, and an Android OS that blows other smartphones out of the water, you're looking at it right here. It's the Motorola DROID. Thank you for watching this hardware review of the Motorola DROID. MKBHD signing out. Thanks for watching. Peace.